Hello, welcome back to season 6 of PokéBoys, the season finale of our GymLocke of HeartGold. In this episode, we will be discussing our time in getting to the Elite Four through Victory Road, battling the Elite Four, taking on the champion, and of course, our final thoughts on the challenge itself and the game we played through, which was HeartGold. So, first off, did you guys do anything at all prior to heading into Victory Road? Was there any sort of like cleanup, item finding, last minute catches?
All right. Well, I'm assuming we're gonna skip over the recap of the end of leg team for.
No. You're a good catch. Let's recap those teams.
For me, the end of leg 14 was Kaiju the Tyranitar, level 44, Kaido the Gyarados at level 42, Marvin the Magnezone at level 44, Muscle the Machamp at level 42, Sabrina the Alakazam at level 43, and Blake the Vaporeon at level 43.
Dad, do you have your team available?
Yes.
All right.
I did. Sorry.
All right.
There it
While
is.
you're,
I just had to scroll up a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. I had Lemonhead, my Ampharos, level 41. Big Back, Magnezone at level 42. Burnt Nug, Gyarados at level 42. Rocky, my Onyx at level 49. Willy Wonka, Togetic at level 39. And Skittles, my Dratini at level 12.
Nice. I finished leg 4 with Pacific, my Magmar at level 40. Magmar. Can't talk.
Magmar?
Magmar
might be a cool Fakemon.
Yeah, just like just a grotesque fusion of Magmar and Magnezone.
Fire electric type.
Hey, that'd actually be cool. Fire Steel. Is there a Fire Steel type?
Oh,
anyways,
probably.
Pacific, my Magmar, level 40. Anna, my Nidoqueen, level 35. Bulge, my Miltank, level 37. Moda, the Scyther. No. Scissor. No. I think did I evolve him? I think I evolved him last leg. Anyways, he's a Scissor now. Spoiler alert. He's 37.
Oh, nice.
Clevin, the Heracross at 38. Fury, the Ariados at 38. Thank you for reminding me to recap our teams. Kumino, I almost forgot the most important part. But now that we got that out of the way, was there anything you guys did before progressing here with like the last bit of the story and going through Victory Road?
Well, I kicked things off with looking over my team and making sure that I got everybody straight. But in that process, I ended up getting wrapped up into the whole side story.
Oh yeah.
And I played through that whole thing. It was crazy. The battles with the kimono girls just.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it then. We start off the final leg by checking in on Professor Elm because he called us at the end after getting our final badge last leg and tells us to stop by the lab. And when we go there, he's like, "Hey, you guys want a Master Ball? I got this cool here. Congratulations. Have a Master Ball." And he also tells us that the beautiful kimono girls are looking for me. And I was like, after you mentioned last episode or the episode before, Kumino, where like we're like 10. And like the kimono girls are making strange comments to 10-year-olds,
Yeah.
and now Professor Elm's like telling a 10-year-old that these beautiful adult women are looking for you.
Hey,
It's kind of strange.
Weird, man.
Look, listen, they like if you 10 and you can go out and be a Pokemon trainer, you know,
I guess.
the world is your oyster.
I guess. But Elm tells us that the Kimono Girls they're looking for us, and they'll be waiting at the Eckertique Dance Theater, which we've been there before, and I think like 2 or 3. So we head over there, and of course our rival Kumad is there. He he bumped into me as I tried to enter the theater, and he was complaining, going on about how the Kimono Girls beat him, and he's
right,
like, "I'm not."
losing to the Kimono Girls.
Yeah,
Like 5 battles in a row. It's crazy. I can't do it. And I won't stick around and watch you win because I know that's what you do.
exactly. Yeah,
I was
he's
like, Venom, like, of course, you know, I'm the man. Like, I'm the done. Like, of course, I got to win. And that's why he was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, just runs off like a turd.
I love you, Venom. I love you.
Well, that makes one of us. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, how was what's your rival's name, Dad?
Douche.
Douche. How was Douche? Was he living up to his name here for you?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, of course, we go and we battle the Kimono Girls. There are 5, and we battle them one at a time, straight through. Dad, what do you think of these battles and their choice Pokemon?
I loved the choice of their Pokemon. Very clever. I lost against the last one.
Okay.
And then I had to go back and show those girls what was up the second time around.
Yes, they each have one Pokemon, and each girl has an evolution of Eevee. Of course,
Love it.
With the addition, of course, Gen 1 has Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, and then Gen 2 adds Espeon and Umbreon. So yeah, pretty neat. Umbreon is super tanky.
Yes.
But yeah, after we beat the Kimono Girls, they tell us that in order to bring back Ho-Oh, they need someone who has a special bond with Pokemon. And they're the ones that gave the mysterious egg to Mr. Pokemon, who eventually gave it to us that we hatched in the very beginning of the game, if you remember.
Yep.
And they said, however, being pure isn't all that's needed to summon Ho-Oh. So I must be tested by battle. And, that's we fought them. And one thing that I thought was cool, I don't know if you guys noticed, but before you battle them, they each tell you like where you ran into them in the overworld throughout the game. So I thought that was kind of like a nice little touch, because we do end up bumping into each of the 5 in different places all over Johto. But after beating them, they give us the clear bell, and their little sister runs in. I guess there's a 6th Kimono girl, telling us that she saw a big shadow of a Pokemon, and we have to rush to the bell tower. So we head over there, and we go ascend to the top. And what's waiting for us there? The one and only legendary Ho-Oh. Of course, we're playing HeartGold, so if we were playing Soul Silver, this whole thing would be with Lugia and the Whirlpool Islands. So yeah, version exclusive. We cannot catch Lugia in HeartGold. So, what'd you think of this whole climbing up the tower? And did you do this? Did you?
Yeah.
Do the
I did
Ho-Oh
this
thing? Did you catch him with the Master Ball?
No.
Did you catch him at all, or did you just kill him?
I killed him because.
Wow.
Well, so they said that Ho-Oh has been waiting for someone like me, and I'm thinking, why? Is he out to kill children and Pokemon? So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let him have that. No.
Wow.
So I kill him.
Ho-Oh's like magical.
Actually, I'd knock him out, but then he's just gone. Just knocked him out of existence.
Dang, dude.
That's how I do, man.
Unbelievable.
If I can't catch you, you're dead.
What about you, Kumino? I almost called you Kimono.
I mean, I gave him a whole speech and everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I gotta find it. Hold on. Let's see. Because I took a lot of detailed notes.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Let's see. Okay, so I tell thank you for choosing me, but unfortunately, you cannot come with me because you are not allowed. And he goes, oh, and I'm like, I'm sorry, my friend. And one thunderbolt murders him and turns to ash.
Oh my gosh. You guys are terrible. You're monsters.
Listen, it's not my fault because look, listen, Faulkner, instead of getting the legendary bird, one of the legendary birds of your region, no, you went over to Kanto and got an Articuno instead of getting Ho-Oh or Lou.
Yeah. I call you guys monsters, but what I did maybe could arguably be worse, I guess. So I climbed the tower, and even though I'm not able to use Ho-Oh at all, I spent a couple resets trying to catch it with Ultra Balls, and finally did. But I can't use it, so I just literally caught like the one and only one of its kind legendary Pokemon, and it's just gonna sit in the computer forever. At least you guys put it out of its misery, I guess.
Well, see,
Which is worse.
now all three of us is bad. Now I would probably say me and Dad worse because like we murdered it. Now it being a phoenix, of course, in however many years it's going to return. But at least with you, you can always just go, all right, there you go, and it goes on about his business. It's going to come
That's
back
true.
to life looking for us.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
You gave him some mercy. We just crushed him.
Yeah, I don't know why I saved my Master Ball, and now that my ROM bricked, it really is pointless. But I was saving it, I guess, in case I ran into another of the legendary dogs.
Never seen that one of them.
No,
I just saw the
dude, I
one.
ran into him so many times. It's crazy. But yeah, so once we got through this little side quest to catch the legendary, it was time to go down Victory Road, head towards the Elite Four.
Do we hit Route 29 first?
Maybe?
No, it's Route 27 that we so we go back to Newbart and we surf across the little pond.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's Route 27 that we step on. That
So
Kanto.
I was on Route 29 for some reason.
Yeah.
And I encountered Reiko,
Mhm.
but that was it. He fled as soon as I switched Pokemon, so I didn't really get to do anything. He got him.
Yeah, they always run away. They're kind of like Abra in that sense, where I don't know if you've ever encountered an Abra, Dad, but they teleport.
Infinity.
They teleport away in one turn. But the cool thing is, if you damage it, and I think we talked about this before, maybe even if you inflict like a paralyze, I don't know this for certain, but if you a status condition, it might also keep that, but it definitely keeps the damage. So you can kind of like, as you encounter them randomly, whittle their health away. So that way you can get to a point where you might get lucky and just toss an Ultra Ball and be able to catch it. Odds probably aren't in your favor.
Sounds like way too much work.
Oh yeah, 100%. Which,
definitely.
by the way, this not HeartGold, but Gen 2, I played Gold, and on release, like that cycle, like I completed the decks with my brother. Like I 100%ed the Gold decks. Like
wow,
when you had to like link cable trade with people physically, like in proximity to you, it was my like crowning gaming achievement for a very long time. Because those three dogs, dude, such pain. Yeah, so like Kumino said, head back to Newbark Town and surf east and head towards Victory Road. There's some assorted trainer battles, a few patches of wild grass. But I did not catch anything I don't think you guys did either, right?
Not a
more
thing. The
catches?
most notable thing that happened was the trainer that had the Bulbasaur line.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
It I tried to scrub it from my memory because it pained me to have to down my favorite Pokemon. But yeah, so we make it to Victory Road. Nothing really crazy here. We do have a battle with our rival one final time. Kumad again bumping into me, thinking he could stop me from challenging the Elite Four when he couldn't even beat the Kimono girls. Honestly, though, I was actually a little nervous going into this battle because my team was kind of in rough shape. And I swapped out Pacific for my level 1 Togepi because it knew all the HMs, and I taught it Waterfall, and I needed Waterfall to get through Victory Road here. Or maybe I needed Waterfall to get to Victory Road, and then I just forgot to
Yeah, because when you get onto Route 27, you go through Tojo Falls, and you got to go up the waterfall in that day. So
yeah. But my anxiousness was pointless. I one shot his Sneasel with Moda. Bulge took care of Typhlosion. Anna took care of Magneton. Fury one shot the Kadabra. Bulge took care of the Golbat, and Fury took care of the Haunter. I assume y'all's battles with your rivals were similar, just beatdowns.
Essentially, but I said something neat because I was leading with Sabrina, and he led with Sneasel, and I was like, this is bad, but I don't switch out because we have the heart of the cars on our side. Wait, wrong French.
Nice.
Like, I mean, we have the power of friendship and love. And but luckily, I had also gave Sabrina Rock Smash, and it
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it did the job.
How was Douche?
Well, first of all, the very first thing I encounter when I get when I surf from Newbark is a frickin' cave.
It was a short one though.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Like
So-
any cave, bad.
Get me out of here. So actually halfway through the super long route, Dratini evolves into Dragonair. I'm very happy about it.
Nice.
Victory Road, of course, it's a cave. I broke a bunch of rocks.
Yes.
Got through the cave with one Pokemon left. It was Rocky. And
Nice.
that's when Douche decides to show up. I'm like, great. So I knocked out his first Pokemon, and then Rocky got beat up by Magneton. And then I went back home to mommy. She healed my Pokemon, and I went and dealt with him for real.
But your mom healed your Pokemon? Every time I went home, she always asked me about money.
I know, it was crazy. Like the first time I saw her, she was like, do you want money?
Right.
I'm like, no, I've got all my money on me.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing it home to you.
Yeah.
So then I took him out and I completed Victory Road, also known as Death Cave.
Nice. Earthquake was found in Victory Road, which is very nice.
Earthquake and Dark Pulse.
Got Dark Pulse.
Yeah, I was very excited to see Earthquake because before finding Earthquake, Anna's moveset was leaving a lot to be desired. So being able to slap Earthquake onto the Nidoqueen was chef's kiss. It was very nice. But yeah, after Victory Road, we're here at the Elite Four, the end of the game. Dad, before we go into the Elite Four, like, how are you feeling at this point with your team? Are you feeling confident? What is this?
I was actually
second Elite Four of an official Pokemon game, not a fan game, right? Because all you've done is
because
Bushido, Infinity, then Sword and Shield, and now this, right?
So Sword and then this. I was feeling pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I've definitely had some struggles along the way.
Mhm.
And then some other times where I'm just like wiping through everything and everyone.
Yeah.
So I was feeling pretty good. Like, all right, still a little nervous because I really don't know what to expect here.
All right.
Because it feels totally different than Sword did. Like
Oh yeah.
I feel like I really had to think about stuff. Plus, I didn't have like the handicap of this is super effective. This move is super effective against this Pokemon.
True. And unlike Sword and Shield, we didn't have like $80 gazillion to just spend on items at this point.
Right. I think I had actually a bunch of money.
Put your hand
saved up.
down, Kumino. Did you have $80 gazillion?
He definitely did.
Not 80 gazillion, but
Just
like
80, 100,000.
what it was like 234,000 that
Wow.
after I got my money from mom.
Oh yeah.
You had to go collect.
Did you guys set up the mom bank account?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, I did, and then totally forgot that I could get the money back from her.
Was there interest on it?
Well, if you do that, she'll like buy you items with your own money that you
She
send
just
her,
buy you
and
berries.
it's like useless crap.
Yeah, see,
But I forgot that you could go back and get your money
Yeah.
that she's been saving for you, which
Because
would have
like I
been
said,
very
the last
helpful.
time that I went home, like the first thing out of your mouth, you want some money? What?
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, give my money because I came here to say hi. Like you can't even say congratulations on beating the gyms or
geez.
nothing.
She's just angry you want your money back.
Right. So yeah, just give me my money. So that's what I used to buy a bunch of full restores here. This shop.
Nice. So you're feeling confident, Dad, but still a little
a little questionable. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Kumino? I mean, I'm sure your team's pretty solid, so you're just ready to go.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that was a nice throat clear. I forgot who the Elite Four members were and what their typings were. So I was kind of like not sure what to expect because I mean I got an Ariados and a Miltank on my team. Like they're not bad, but like I don't have like a team of A-listers here. So I wasn't sure exactly what to expect. But my first time through, let's see, I'll just go through each member. So Will is our first member. I beat him while only losing Moda. Zatu was taken out by Moda. Slowbro KO'd Moda, but then Fury came in and took down the Slowbro. His second Zatu was defeated by Bulge. Jinx was one shot by a final stage rollout from Bulge, which is always satisfying. And then Executor came in and Clevin took it out. Koga is second. I beat him, but ended up Pacific, Bulge, and Anna all fainted in this match. Ariados was taken out by Moda. Muck was defeated by Anna. A nice earthquake always takes out that pile of goo. Fortress comes in, survives a fire punch from Pacific, and then turns around and one-shots my Magmar with an earthquake. Did not see that coming. But Clevin came in, cleaned up shop. Crobat comes in, knocks out Bulge with 3 Brave Birds, knocks out Anna with a Brave Bird, and did 50% of Moda's HP with 1 Brave Bird. But Moda survived and took it out. Venomoth comes in, and Moda cleaned up. So two members down, a handful of revives and hyper potions have been consumed. Bruno is up third. I beat Bruno, but I lost Moda, Clevin, and Anna in this match. Hitmontop knocked out Moda because I forgot to fully heal it after the Koga battle. But Clevin came in, took it out with Aerial Ace. Steelix is Bruno's next Pokemon. Clevin beats it with a couple brick breaks. Hitmonchan comes in. Clevin knocks it out with some Aerial Aces. Hitmonlee comes in. More Aerial Aces from Clevin. The Machamp, his final Pokemon, comes out, knocks out Clevin and Anna, but Pacific was there to save the day with a powerful Fire Blast. And that brings me to Karen, the final member of the Elite Four. I'm still on my first run here, guys. Umbreon comes out, got it down to 50% HP with Fury, and Karen swapped the Umbreon out with Gengar.
Oh.
And then Gengar literally wiped my entire team. Wow. So I made it all the way to Karen on my first attempt. But then I had to do some level grinding. I tried going through a few times using like save states because I spent all my money and I didn't want to. I still had like hyper potions and full restores and revives and stuff, but I didn't want to like waste all of them on failed attempts and then like be stuck with no money and no items.
Yeah.
So I tried a few runs of just like seeing how far I would get.
I
And
like
then
how he's laughing because he's learned.
Yes, yeah. Yep. You'll learn, that's for sure. I tried a few runs, and then if I would lose, I would just reset my save state, so all my items would be back. But then I wasn't gaining levels, so then what I did was I just would run through, and then when I lost, I lost. I wouldn't bother reviving or healing in between Elite Four members, so I could just train up some levels and save all my items. So I did that a handful of times, went to Victory Road and just grind on some wild Pokemon a few times, and then went back, and we can go through that later. But Kumino, was it just single run right through, wiping the floor?
No, it wasn't.
What?
I mean, well, first and foremost, it was just one go through. It was that, but it wasn't no just wiping the floor. Because I went in, Sabrina level 45, Kaido 44, Kai Judy 45, Marvin 48, Blake 44, and James 45. Like it's not what people are used to from me with the over leveling.
That's true.
But for me, with Will, he led with Zatsu. I led with Sabrina. Before he can get started, Sabrina connected with a powerful Shadow Ball for an Oko.
Nice.
Next, he brings out Jinx. Sabrina fires another Shadow Ball. It missed.
Oh,
right. So catch a ice punch to the face. Sabrina get brought down to half health.
Dang, from one ice punch. Oh yeah, well, glass cannon.
And Sabrina fires off another Shadow Ball to put down Nicki Minaj. Will sends out another Zatsu.
Oh my gosh.
Sabrina has a bit of deja vu and repeats the process of missing Shadow Ball again. But this time, the Zatsu, it missed whatever it went for. Because I was at work when this was going on. And then we hit the next Shadow Ball. Then Executor came out, stuck with Sabrina. Executor is tanky. It lived the Shadow Ball. It strikes back with a wood hammer and just obliterates Sabrina.
Hood hammer. He just like whips out a pistol. shoots Sabrina. Got that hood hammer.
Right. So James came out, took it down with 2 Fire Fangs. Then Slowbro came out, so I brought Marvin out. It went back and forth with Marvin. But Marvin on 29 health got off one last Thunderbolt to put away the Slowbro.
Nice. Slowbro and Executor. Sneaky tanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I healed up. Went on to Koga. Kaido came out ready for the smoke as Koga brings out area dose to the field. One fly from Kaido puts the awesome looking spider down for the count because it does look great.
It is.
Fortress is next for Koga. I leave Kaido in. We went for another fly. Only did a third of Fortress health while it got landed super effective rock slide.
Ooh.
Right. Wow.
That Fortress has such a wild moveset.
Yeah,
Like
really
Earthquake, Rock Slide. Like
yeah, and then that's the thing. Like rock slide is one of the moves that while you in the air using fly, it does
so
even
hits you?
more damage. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was big damage. But yeah, it dropped Kaido to half health. Afraid Koga will heal. I decided to go for a waterfall. It's not effective, but it's stab. Koga does go for the heal, but waterfall does way more than I expected. Kaido goes for another fly, hoping to get a better damage roll, but sadly, no. It left Fortress in the red again. We took another rock slide that put Kaido down. So I brought Blake in to hit with a surf, and that got rid of it. Got rid of the Fortress. Koga went for his heavy hitter Muck, and I decided it was time for Kai Judy to hit the field. Kai Judy cracked the building with a super effective earthquake that O-code the Muck. That made me feel good.
Oh,
Venomoth was the answer to Kai Judy, but it goes wrong as Rock Slide smashed the bug. His Ace Crobat is next, but it's too late as it tries to do something to hit. It tries to do something by hitting Wing Attack, but Kai Judy is too much and ends Crobat Day with a Rock Slide. The ninja is done. 3 to go.
So does Rock Slide stop fly or just do more damage when you're in the air?
Just do more damage when you're in the air.
Is there anything that would like knock a Pokemon out of fly?
I believe Smackdown.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Smackdown brings flying types down to the ground normally. So I believe it would work that way with fly as well.
Okay. I never knew that Rock Slide did extra damage when you're in there. That's good to know.
But yeah, Bruno, all this, Sabrina.
Psychic.
Yeah, except for the time that Blake came in and washed away the Onyx. Other than that, yeah. But Karen, that started off with an evolution battle against Blake and her Umbreon. Blake traps Umbreon with a whirlpool to get the chip damage in, and Umbreon fires off dark pulse that only hits for 10 damage. I'm not sure why I was hitting for so little damage, but I wasn't mad. Blake then add more pressure with Surf, but Karen must have expected this because Umbreon set up the sun. Right.
Hacks.
Surf doing very little damage this time. So they went back and forth doing underwhelming amount of damage to each other. I'm still not understanding why Dark Pulse was not doing anything. Like it was only hitting for 10 damage at a time. Just don't know why. And she used 2 full restores in this little exchange between the evolutions. But finally, Blake held out, got off the final serve, and won the battle.
Nice.
Let's see. The mascot of the cartel, Huntscrow, was up next. James came in, hit it with a fire fang, brought it down. Sorry. Then Gengar came out, so Sabrina came out. One psychic, you know how that goes. Houndoom came, Blake came back, Surf, boom, the doggo was gone, back to the underworld. And that was it for the Elite Four for me.
Nice. You know, for the longest time, when I was a young child, I didn't realize that the Ghastly line is also poison. So I was like, oh, Psychic types are good against ghost types.
Right. And despite the fact that I started when I was 13, I'm like, okay, so psychic has to be strong against ghosts because all of them get waxed by Kadabra, because I ain't had no friend at the time, so I ain't had no Alakazam.
So sad.
But watching the anime, they're like, no, Ghost is super effective. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. Yeah, it was just the severe lack of ghost types in the game. And like the only ones that were used were also poison. It's very sneaky of you, Pokemon.
Right.
Making us all willingly go into poor matchups for our poor psychic types. Awesome. Was it fun that it was a challenge this time around?
Oh yeah, like it made me feel good because with the XP share, I mean not share, 2 times XP, like I felt like I was cheating a bit. But when I got that late in the game and realized like, nah, I'm not over level. Matter of fact, I'm actually a bit under level.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, this feels about right. This reminds me kind of childhood when I was playing these games.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt real good.
Nice. Dad, let's hear your experience. We saved the best for last.
Hardly. Okay, so Will, Zatu took out my Rocky. And then I responded with Big Back and Executor. I don't know who took him out. It might have been Big Back, because then Slowbro comes out and Big Back takes him out.
Nice.
Yeah,
honestly, electric type against Will, not bad, because he has 2 flying types and then Slowbro's water.
Did he have 2 Zatus?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I messed up on my notes.
Nope, he had 2.
But then his second Zatu one-shot Big Back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And then... Oh, no. I'm sorry. Other way around. Big Back one-shot him. Probably with Discharge, because that was like my move of choice.
Yeah.
And then Jinx also beat by Big Back. So far, so good. I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Koga came out. I think at some point I healed Rocky because Ariados knocked out Rocky.
Dang, what is happening to Rocky?
I don't know. He's had a rough go. He's had a really rough go. And then I bring Big Back back out, takes out Ariados, takes out Fortress, takes out Muck, takes out Crobat, takes out Venomoth. Now Bruno. Hitmontop was first. Big Back knocked him out. Steelix came out. He took out Big Back.
Oh no.
And then I responded with Willy Wonka. And then Hitmonchan came out. And Burnt Nug took him out.
I just am envisioning like someone who has not listened to a single episode. And they're like, what are these guys talking about?
I know. I was wondering if I should say like, what they actually are.
What's a Moda? What's a Big Bag? Kai Judy. I don't know, but that sounds like an amazing nickname.
Right. And then Machamp came out. Big Back knocked that out, and Hitmonlee, which I feel like, if I remember right, Hitmonlee was pretty tricky for me.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then Karen, Umbreon.
Let me guess. Big Back?
Well, she like instantly switched it out to Houndoom.
Okay. Yeah.
and took out almost everyone.
So you
And
had
then-
almost a Gengar experience that I had, where she's just like, you know what? We're just gonna come
Just
back,
gonna-
Umbreon. We're just
yeah.
gonna wipe his team with something else.
Exactly.
Well, see, that's why you should have told her, listen, you can speak to my manager, and she would have been nicer to you.
Here's
True.
Bulge, my manager.
Would you like to speak to Big Back? He's right here.
Yeah. Bulge is my Miltank listeners. Okay.
You want to talk to my? Oh my gosh.
Get your mind out of the gutters.
Oh.
All right. So Houndoom almost wiped my entire team, but I brought out Burnt Nug, took care of that problem.
Nice.
Then Gengar brought out Lemonhead because, you know, I had to share some love. He ended up wiping Gengar, Honchkrow, and then Umbreon came back, which that was close. He barely made it. And then Vileplume, Big Back took care of that problem.
Dang, so Dad beat the Elite Four on the first try?
Yes.
Nice.
However, my one remaining Pokemon was Big Back at 43 HP.
Nice. Hey, man.
But I made it. I made
it. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Because the old school Elite Fours are nothing to be scoffed at.
Yeah. I ended up doing this 4 times total, including champion.
Oh, you did it 4 times?
4 times. Well, so I got to him every single time.
Oh,
he ended up losing out.
So the champion okay, right. But you made it through the Elite Four on your first try.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the only other thing I had noted, actually 2 things. The second time I had 2 Pokemon left with Lemonhead and Burnt Nug with a combined 36 HP.
Oh, dang.
And then the 4th time I got smart. I went back to the store, bought everything, totally out of money. I was ready.
Nice.
So now I'm like, everything's alive. I've got revives and healing stuff. I might have a chance against Lance.
Nice. So on my next the attempt that I beat the Elite Four, when I did beat Karen, Fury took out the Umbreon. Gotta love that bug. Super effective against Dark. Anna took out Honchkrow with a few thunders. Houndoom came out and Bulge was able to take it out. But I did have to kind of like hyper potion stall through some like 3 overheats. But eventually Bulge was able to take out the Houndoom. Vileplume was one shot by a Fire Blast from Pacific. Gengar came in, knocked out Anna, who was trying to Earthquake it. Knocked out Fury, that was trying to Sucker Punch and Shadow Sneak it. But finally was defeated by Pacific. Excuse me. And then it was on to the champion, Lance. At this point, I did a save state right after beating and fully healing up, because I still had a decent amount of healing items left over, and I was like, I'm not going to go through the Elite Four again. So at this point, I'm just going to do save states to, if I lose, just reload my save state, so I don't have to like keep going through it. But Lance kicked my butt over and over and over and over and over again, because his Pokemon much higher level than my Pokemon. And let's see, he has oh crap, I didn't write down who he has. Did one of you guys write down who he has?
Yeah. Yep, I got it. Champion Batman Lance. I'll even go through what my battle was like with him.
Go for it.
Batman leads with Gyarados, but I
Scary.
remember this from thousands of years ago, and I have Marvin in the front. Thunderbolt puts away the fake Kaido. Batman Lance is smart and brings out Charizard. I don't take kindly to this, and I let Blake take over. Stupidly going for Belly Drum, Batland sets up Charizard to fail as Blake drowns the Not Dragon. Aerodactyl is his next choice, so Marvin makes his return. Aerodactyl did nothing with Dragon Claw, but Marvin clipped his wings with Thunderbolt. Dragon Knight Robin was out for Kaido, and Kaido came out too. Ice Fang did big damage to Dragon Knight Robin. Dragon Knight Robin hit an ominous wind. Batman Lance full restored, but Kaido didn't lay off. Hit another Ice Fang. One more Ice Fang put Dragon Knight Robin down. Dragon Knight Todd wanted revenge for Dragon Knight Robin, but Kai Judy stood in his way. Dragon Knight Todd dove underwater, throwing us off and making Kai Judy miss her rock slide. Kai Judy was hit hard on the next turn, but still stood strong and landed rock slide, causing Dragon Knight Todd to heal with a citrus berry. Dragon Knight Todd dove again, but we expected this and went for a crunch to not waste PP.
Never want to waste the PP, dude.
That's right.
Never.
Kai Judy withstood another hit and countered back with a mean Dragon Claw to put Dragon Knight Todd on the ground out cold. Blake returned to attack as Dragon Knight Wing
Nice.
steps up to be the big brother. One ice beam leaves Dragon Knight Wing wishing he could have stayed home with Starfire as we defeated Batman Lance and his sidekicks. We are the champion.
Dragon Nightwing.
That's amazing. Amazing.
That's hilarious. Yeah, how was your experience with Lance, Dad?
I mean, we could probably end on that note. Like, Kumino's
Yeah, that was
breakdown
great
of
recap.
every single battle is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
So once I actually had a full healed up team,
Mhm.
I think I actually beat him that time. Like
with
my
Big Back. I'm just
actually,
Actually, it was Skittles.
no, it wasn't Skittles, but he did get to level up a lot during this, which was great.
Nice.
Or throughout this, all these battles. Gyarados, I beat with Big Back. His Charizard almost took out Big Back, but my Big Back one shot it. And Dragonite came out on his first. Burnt Nug took him out. Aerodactyl, Lemonhead took him out. Dragonite, Burnt Nug, Dragonite, his last one. It was I wrote brutal, but then I put Burnt Nug for the win.
nice.
So,
Um,
but yeah, I had to keep switching out Pokemon to revive and heal.
yeah.
And Ice was doing the most damage.
Mhm.
And Burnt Nug had Ice Fang, so it was working out very, very good.
Yeah. Well, like, I believe all of his Pokemon are flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ice is quad effective against Dragonite because it's flying and dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, no.
He
Ice
took out
actually
half my
perfect.
team, but I was able to make it work with what I had.
Yeah.
And
So, man, dude, this took me so many tries because my team, even with the grinding I did, still was not like on par level wise. So I was under leveled. I didn't even write down the notes because I did this like the day before we were going to record. And then Kumino came down with the flu. So
with the sickness.
I blame Kumino. No, I'm just kidding.
Kumad, it was Kumad's fault.
It's Kumad. He was let's see, what do we have it on here? I shouldn't waste time doing this, but yeah, we don't have the down with the sickness clip isn't easily accessible.
Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
No,
you're good.
but it dude, okay. So I had to like really strategize, and essentially what I did was try to set up Bulge to get some successful rollouts to take out the Gyarados and the Charizard. But essentially what ended up winning the battle was a combination of Anna hopefully procking Quick Claw to get Thunders out to outspeed and get a Thunder and hopefully paralyze. And then it was healing up Bulge and or Anna and either Thunder, Body Slam, or Stomping, because Stomp has a pretty high chance of flinching, and Thunder and Body Slam can sorry, that's a really bad time for a burp. Thunder and Body Slam, of course, can paralyze, and so I was just really hoping that I could just flinch or paralyze and then proc the paralysis. But eventually, after many tries and many hyper potions, I was able to take down Lance, and we all became champion. And the game is over. With that being said, before we talk about like our thoughts on HeartGold and Johto, was there a Pokemon or two that you had on your team this season that kind of surprised you? Maybe you didn't use before, and you were, grew fond of for whatever reason. Kumino, I'll start with you, and then we'll get to Dad. I'm anxious to hear from both of you, actually.
Well, truthfully, all of the Pokemon that I used at least one time before. But I would have to say the one that stood out to me the most would absolutely be Vaporeon.
Okay.
I forgot how much I loved Vaporeon back in Gen 1, and it was just always clutch for me. Anytime I got the free Eevee from Celadon, I always went Vaporeon, so it just made me love it again.
Nice. Dad, what was your favorite Pokemon from this run?
I want to say, I mean, I've not used any of these. Maybe I used Onyx before. Maybe not. I don't know. But all these are new for me. So they were all very cool. But the one that stuck out to me was none other than Big Back, my Magnezone. Very cool Pokemon. Like it's cool that we do this because it, for me at least, it forces me to try different Pokemon. Because let's be real, if I could,
you just pick Delphox every time.
A team of all Delphoxes would be my team. Come on,
holding the Arceus plates to help change the typing.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe that could be a challenge. You pick one Pokemon, that's the only one you can use.
That's right, a true mono run. Mono being only one Pokemon.
But yeah, I mean, they were all fun. I also liked Togetic. Okay. Wish I could have had the Togekiss, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have two candidates. First off, I was sad that I wasn't able to get Magmortar. I would have only been able to do that if we played the post game because the Magmarizer was somewhere in Kanto. So I was looking forward to using Magmortar. That would have been fun. I've never actually used the Magmar line, so using Magby and Magmar was kind of cool. Excuse me. But and I've never actually used a Nidoqueen all the way through a play. So that was kind of interesting. I've used Heracross a ton of times. I love that Pokemon. He's one of my favorites. But it really comes down to Miltank and Ariados. Like, I've never used a Spinarak past like level 13 or something. And the only time I did was probably my original playthrough of Pokemon Gold when I was like 12. So actually using that Pokemon and Ariados for an entire run was wild. But Ariados is actually kind of strong. Like, he's kind of beefy, and like I don't know if Jared like adjusted the learn sets of our Pokemon to make them a little more updated, but
Yeah,
like
I
it
want to
learned.
say he did it up to Generation 6, I believe.
Okay, but it learned a lot of ghost attacks. I was able to teach it Sucker Punch, which was nice. Leech Life is always a great move, but it hit hard and was tanky, and then being able to like life steal was like made it even more of a threat to take down. Had a lot of fun with Fury. Fury was a good Pokemon. And Miltank, like, my only experience with Miltank, of course, is getting destroyed by Whitney's. I've never used one, and I was pleasantly surprised with Bulge. Like, having the Scrappy ability, I think it's Scrappy.
Yeah.
Being able to use normal type attacks on ghost type Pokemon was really, really cool. Stomp is like a sleepy, powerful move, does pretty decent damage, and then has that high flinch chance. So that was nice. And of course, rollout, I kept that just because, it's nightmare fuel for me. So I wanted to, execute my rollout nightmare fuel to my opponents too. But it also learned Zen Headbutt, which was interesting, and my only psychic type attack on my team. But it's really beefy, and like literally both, like because it's a cow and because it was tanky. But
it's still so funny to see in like Showdown.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I just think my final team was just fun. It wasn't powerful at all. Like, well, I shouldn't say at all, but like it's not the most powerful team. But none of these Pokemon, except for Heracross and a version of Scyther, have I used for any real amount of time, let alone like an entire play of a game. So this was a fun season for me, just getting to experience like an almost, pure new team, which is like, Dad, like you said, one of my favorite things about doing this podcast and doing these challenges. Just from someone like Kumino, I'm sure you like share this thought too, but like as someone who's played so many Pokemon games and so many runs of the same, generations and whatnot, you always find yourself falling into like the same old team that you're comfortable with, that you like. And without the like wild rule sets that we enforce on ourselves, like it's a real treat and real fun, and makes playing through the games a real challenge when you are so limited on the Pokemon you're able to use. And it just makes it a lot of fun and makes the game feel fresh when you're forced to use like these random Pokemon that maybe you thought were weak or uninteresting and then you kind of grow to love them, and you find some new favorite Pokemon. So,
Yeah.
Listeners, hopefully that happened to you guys on your runs. So, while it's fresh in my mind, leave a comment. Let us know what Pokemon, surprised you on your team through this season. And yeah, let us know if you had fun.
And did Karen get to speak to your manager?
That's right.
Yeah.
But
final team.
We could go through that, but none of our teams changed. So, yeah, Pacific, my Magmar, Anim, my Nidoqueen, Bulge, my Miltank, Moda, the Scissor, Clevin, the Heracross, and Fury, the Ariados. Dad, your final team.
Willy Wonka, Togetic, level 47. Big Back, Magnezone, level 54. Burnt Nug, Gyarados, level 49. Lemonhead, Ampharos, level 51. Rocky, my Onyx, at level 51. Very sad I didn't get to use Steelix. That would have been a fun one. And then Skittles, my Dragonair, at level 34.
Kumino.
Man, I wish I would have got a screenshot or record of the closing feature when it was showing the team as it became champion. Marvin, the Magnezone, my starter at level 48. Sabrina, the Alakazam at level 46. Kai Judy, the Tyranitar at level 46. Blake, Vaporeon at level 45. Kaido, the Gyarados at level 45. James, the Arcanine at level 46.
Nice. I will never not laugh when I hear Kai Judy. That's like the funniest name ever. But yeah, before we head out here, just your guys' final thoughts on HeartGold as a game, and Johto as a region. Dad, being your second attempt at an official Pokemon game, what'd you think of HeartGold? What'd you think of Johto as a region in the game? And then third, because it's always good hosting to just ask the person that you're asking questions to ask them like multiple questions at once instead of just one at a time.
Of course.
The third and final question: how does it compare to your experience in Sword and Shield?
Oh man. Well,
hurry before I think of another question to ask you.
I enjoyed this game thoroughly. The region was great. The Pokemon were great. As my second main series game, it's hard to compare the two main games because they just feel totally different.
So different.
But this more old school makes me wish I would have gotten into it when I was younger. It's got that real nostalgic feeling to it that I probably would feel if I would have played it. But let's see. What was the third question?
No, I think you did, because you said it's hard to compare this with Sword and Shield because they're so different.
But it was fun. Like I did have a good time with it. The story was good. Was there really a story? Kind of
Minimoski,
Yeah, I mean it was mostly about catching the Pokemon and beating up on douche and crying to mommy when I get all my Pokemon wiped out and she heals them all. Other than the small irritation in the beginning where I couldn't save anything. Minor stuff really, because after that everything was smooth. Nice. I do like the emulator thing. That's a good time. It helps bring these old games back to life.
Oh yeah. Plus, if we tried to play these like traditionally, it'd probably cost us all like $500. Because I
don't want to do that.
Dude, the cartridges are so expensive because they're like collectors, and like to have a DS, like, okay, maybe not $500, but it would be it's expensive. Like Pokemon,
from what I've seen,
Pokemon cartridges are not
I-
cheap.
Now I still have mine. Now it will still cost me money because I got to go all the way to Mississippi and dig into a shed and all of that stuff there. But
Yeah,
Hey, you got one.
I'll have to maybe Dad, while Kumino's answering my next set of 100 questions, you could try looking up, see how much HeartGold ROM is, and then how much a DS is these days, because it's probably expensive.
Cartridge,
But
you mean?
yeah, the cartridge, and then even like the system itself. Kumino, though, how was your time back in Johto, and like, what are your thoughts on HeartGold?
it was one of the things that I loved about Gen 2 that I think that we all loved about Gen 2 was the fact that Pokemon came with 2 regions in a game, and it hasn't been done the same since forever. One of the things that I don't like about that is they executed it so poorly with items, for evolution, and just so many moves that they wanted to hold off to the other side of the map in the post game when it's post game. I done already become champion. Even if I go over there and fight the gyms, I don't necessarily want to go fight the Elite Four again. Like that's one of the things that always irritated me. But
Yeah,
being in Johto, it felt real good to be there and experience that old culture of Japan, of the what region did we say it was based off of? Was it Kyoto?
let me look.
I believe it was Kyoto, but that's the vibe that you get from the Johto region, and it just feels real good and nostalgic.
Kansai region of Japan.
Okay, and
And yeah, Kyoto, Osaka, Nara.
okay, I felt like a kid again. Booting it up, watching Ho-Oh sail across the screen.
Oh yeah.
And even when I was at work, like it was a couple of people, they'd be like, "What you playing?" Pokemon. They'd be like, "Oh man, I played that." Like, so that's how it's one of those very classic games where anybody can get into it. So if you know somebody that wants to get into Pokemon, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, they're good games to bring them into. Just make sure you use the emulator and the 2-time experience code so they won't be grinding forever and a day.
Yeah. Yeah, man, being back in Johto is so fun. It's my favorite region. Gen 2 is my favorite generation. And these remakes are really, really good. Like really, really good. They were in the Showboys March Madness, whatever that gaming edition was. And there's a reason. They're rated extremely high, like maybe in the 9s somewhere, like very high, very highly regarded. And they bring a lot of quality of life improvements to Generation 2 without like losing the feel of Generation 2. You know what I mean? So it was really nice. And this is the first time I've honestly like been back in Johto probably since I first played it. And my first time like playing all the way through Heart Gold, beating the champion and stuff. So it was super fun. And like Dad said, coming off of Generation 8, right? Sword and Shield. Such a vastly different experience, like going back to the roots of Pokemon. And while we talked about in season 5 the cool things that Generation 8 does, like it does take some of the what's the word I'm looking for, like
Mundane.
Yes, it does. It makes things very mundane. It makes you can play Pokemon with your brain turned off because like Dad, you're talking about, it tells you like next to your move.
You don't
like,
have to
this
really
will be
think
super
about it.
effective. This will not be effective. Yeah, but
for me,
such a
that
treat
was
being back.
yeah.
Well, yeah, for new players, that's
Yeah, it was
such a
great.
great thing to like help them learn. But then you learn, and then you don't ever have to think about it again because it just tells you.
And then you find yourself making mistakes because you're not paying attention, and then you're like,
Yep.
wait, what?
Right.
Yeah. So, did you ever find any
I did.
prices?
So HeartGold is $300 on Amazon, where the DS is, it ranges from $100 to $200 refurbished.
Dude, I wasn't far off.
No, you
$300 for a HeartGold ROM. Are you kidding me? Nintendo, this is why we emulate, because you won't put these stupid games on Nintendo Switch Online.
And it can't be that difficult to do. If other people can do it.
Exactly. This
Well, gold, silver, and crystal, they're on there.
Yeah, but HeartGold is not.
No, it's not.
See, this is my argument to anyone who gives me grief about emulating games, specifically Nintendo games. It's because if we go on Amazon and buy that $300 HeartGold ROM, that's being sold by someone like you and I.
Yes.
Nintendo is not going to get any of that money.
No.
Like, and Nintendo will not make their game available to be purchased.
And people would buy it.
Oh, 100%.
Even if it was for like $20.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I would buy that for $20 on a digital copy on the Switch. I would buy.
Play it anywhere, it runs smooth.
They will not do it.
That's crazy.
So you can grief pirating and emulators across the globe, Nintendo, but you have forced our hand.
Quit hating Nintendo. Let us emulate.
You asked for this.
And we would literally give you money.
Yeah.
We would give you money for this stuff, but you don't make it available. Anyways, enough. I'll get off my soapbox. Let's wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for following along, playing along in season 6. We hope you guys had as much fun as we did. We're very excited about season 7 coming up. I didn't mention it at all here in the podcast, but over in the battle video, season 7, we will be joined by Venom, one of our community members. Awesome guy. He's going to be co-hosting season 7 with us. We're actually firing Dad, so he will not be around. No, I'm just kidding. Dad will be taking a much-deserved break, focusing on some back-end stuff for both PokéBoys and Showboys, and kind of we've been running him into the ground. So we're gonna let him take some time and refresh. But we'll be playing Pokemon Unborn or Unbound. Let me look real quick.
Right,
One of
both
those.
of them are a thing.
Yes, and
they
I
both are a thing?
I always confuse them. Let me scroll up here. Just wow, so many stats from TCG Pocket League. Okay, well, we talk a lot.
Unbound.
Okay. Hold on. Unbound. It is Unbound. You're right, Jeff. Season 7, we will be tackling Pokemon Unbound with Venom. Should be a lot of fun. And then Dad, of course, will be returning in season 8. And we'll just put this out as public knowledge. I don't know if we've necessarily talked about our format here, but when we first started, there were only 2 hosts. So the way we rotated the schedule, the games for the seasons, is Jared and I both picked a challenge, and then Jared and I both picked a fan game. So one of us wouldn't be stuck always picking a fan game, and one of us always be stuck picking a challenge. But now there are 3 hosts, so that won't happen. We're going to rotate between each host. So when you come back, you will have the honors of picking what we're going to do for season 8. So you can take us into a fan game if you want. You can take us into another challenge if you want, and you will kind of be starting that rotation for us. So based off of what you pick for season 8 will determine what the next person for season 9 does, so on and so forth. But yes, thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe. Go follow Kumino over on Twitch. His link is in the episode description below. Join the Discord. Head over to patreon.com/showboyspodcast. Sign up for the Ace Trainer tier if you'd like to support the show. And we will see you for the season 7 interstitial coming sometime before season 8. Or the season 6 interstitial will be coming before season 7.
Right.
You got it.
But also season 7 interstitial will technically come before season 8. So
you're not wrong.
Yeah. Anyways, see you guys later. That's the longest outro ever.
Peace.
Goodbye.